Shomai Bethany, it's very cold today and so I've decided that I'm not getting out of bed, and so you will have to enjoy this video with me warm and snug in the comfort of my quilt. I decided that today would be story time. So I have dug into my short story archives and I've picked out a story that I wrote all the way back in 2011, and it is called The Softly Spoken Robot. Now, a more talented person would animate this or draw some pictures. I'm not that person, and so I will simply read it to you as best I can. The Softly Spoken Robot. The softly spoken robot was often taken advantage of because he was so polite and softly spoken. He became frustrated when these occasions occurred, but remained philosophical about them. The softly spoken robot was well liked by his colleagues, but often misunderstood, and had few real friends. Seeing that he was being taken advantage of by unscrupulous roughhousing robots, his colleagues sympathised, but did nothing. Theories abounded about the softly spoken robot. He was just shy, he was meek, he was secretly a Zen master. There was many options as there were robots to hold them. They all dovetailed on one point, however. He was indeed a very softly spoken robot. The softly spoken robot took some time off work during the summer, a modest amount, and travelled somewhere cultured and mature. There were museums and poets and complicated food in small portions. The softly spoken robot enjoyed himself quietly, smiling gently and expressing his enjoyment in a restrained, dignified manner. At the end of his holiday, he came home. Back in work, he quickly and without complaint slotted back into his routine. The softly spoken robot assumed his cog-like form and began whirring in the machine, stoically. A lot of extra work had been allotted to him because in his absence the other, less softly spoken robots had sluiced off a portion of their own workload and allowed it to accrue under the duties of the softly spoken robot, knowing that he, being so softly spoken, would not complain. And he didn't. The softly spoken robot was a good worker. During his holiday, a new member of staff had been hired. She was a young, eager, outspoken robot, bubbling over with ideals and ambition. Still wet behind the audio inputs, it was left to the softly spoken robot to show her the ports. So it was, during this mentoring process, that the softly spoken robot came to really enjoy the company of his energised colleague. He observed her methods and interactions and came to question his softly spoken nature, which he had previously, unquestioningly, held as a virtue. There was no overnight change, of course. This change was a slow process, as changes of this kind always are. As the outspoken robot acclimatised with the workplace, she slowly came to understand the clandestine foisting of work on her softly spoken friend. She was outraged. She had come to be very fond of the softly spoken robot, finding his quiet nature charming and his stoic ethic admirable. Seeing such good thoughts and deeds rewarded only with opportunistic laziness riled her at the very core. You were coming to enjoy story time as well, Liam? Okay. Somebody is enjoying the story anyway. Seeing such good thoughts and deeds rewarded only with opportunistic laziness riled her at the very core. She decided she would discuss this with the softly spoken robot. Considering it beforehand, she opted against a direct confrontation, knowing that this would upset him in his soft nature, and understanding that explicit confrontation is never desirable and seldom effective. Broaching the subject tactfully, softly but directly, she asked the softly spoken robot why he accepted the unfair situation without fuss. The softly spoken robot's eyes lost a little of their glow. A quiet sadness crept into what was largely a glow of mellow content. "I do the best I can," said the robot, softly. The outspoken but well-meaning robot frowned, still frustrated by the inherent injustice in the situation. Seeing that she was unsatisfied, the softly spoken robot continued. "When a situation is presented to me, I do the good thing. I always try to conduct myself in a way that reflects the best on me. I do my best to be the best I can, to do good in every occasion, in every situation. I can't be accountable if others do not deign to do the same. Feeling that he had made his point to the best of his abilities, the softly spoken robot clocked out. It was the end of his shift, said goodbye and went home. It would take a little while for the outspoken robot to come to terms with the softly spoken robot's black and white mindset. These processes often take time. Thinking about things, really considering them, is a slow, thorough process. She never fully reconciled herself with the injustice of the situation, and rightly so. Over months, years, the two robots came to enjoy each other's company more and more, and eventually they became a couple, leapfrogging the distasteful institution of dating, and opted not to get married since it was so clearly a redundant tradition, and because they lived in a society which did not allot special exemptions and privileges on those who were married. The two robots learned a lot from each other, and were duly promoted to more prestigious positions due to their pleasant manners and their admirable work ethics. They opted not to have children, since the robot population had become oversaturated and was having an adverse effect on their environment. Though it was a sensible decision, it was something of a pity, as less considerate robots spawned thoughtlessly, which resulted in more brash, lazy robots. Together, the two robots worked hard and enjoyed themselves. The softly spoken robot learned the use of being a little more outspoken, and the outspoken robot learned the value of being a little more softly spoken. And they were content a large portion of the time, and they couldn't and didn't ask for more. So I hope you enjoyed the softly spoken robot. I know Sirius definitely did. And in your next video, I fully hope that you will give me a 2,000 word essay detailing exactly what you think that story is about. Farewell.
Gilder, Kyoudai.
I'm going to have to read this by another story.